Shalom. I'm Ira Yah Israel, Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Judah. And today we're going to go into the book of Jasher. We're doing chapter 2. Alright. I'm going to go right into it. Say, it was in the 113th year of the life of Adam upon the earth. And he again knew Eve his wife. And she conceived and bare a son in his likeness and in his image. And she called his name Seth, saying, because God has appointed me another seed in the place of Abel, for Cain has slain him. Alright? And I just want to bring out right there about how she conceived and bare a son. And it say in the likeness and in his image, right? Just like the Most High, when he created man, he say, like, let's go back to the book of Jasher chapter 1 verse 1. He said, God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness. And God created him in his own image. And God formed man from the ground, blew into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul endowed with speech. All right. So right there he said, and God said, let us make man, right, in our image, after our likeness, right? Just like Seth, just like when Seth was born. He was born in the image of Adam, after his likeness. Alright? So I'm trying to show you how you could put the two together, that you could see how we got that skin of bronze like the Most High now. Okay? Alright, we at verse 2. Say, and Seth lived 105 years and begot a son. He called the name of his son Enosh. Right? Saying, because in the time the sons of men began to multiply and to afflict their souls and hearts by transgression and rebelling against God. Right? So the men, sons of men, they began to multiply and to afflict their souls, because they was transgressing the laws of the Most High and rebelling against the Most High. See that? Alright, we're going to keep going now. We're at verse 3. And it was in the days of Enosh, the sons of men continued to rebel and transgress against God, to increase the anger of the Lord against the sons of men. So when the people was rebelling against God, right, and transgressing his laws, the Most High anger increased against the sons of men. Alright? Let's see what's going to happen. Verse 4. And the sons of men went, and they served other gods, and they forgot the Lord who had created them in the earth. In those days the sons of men made images of brass and iron, wood and stone, and they bowed down and served them. See there? So right there it's showing that the men, sons of men, they went and they served other gods. See there? So they forgot about the God who created them. They were serving these other gods. You know what I'm saying? Gods they created, gods of the land. You know what I'm saying? Gods of wood and stones. It's crazy. Alright? We at verse 5. And every man made his God, and they bowed down to them. The sons of men forsook the Lord all the days of Enosh and his children. The anger of the Lord was kindled on their account of their works and abominations which they did in the earth. See, so all the days of Enosh, the men in the earth, they was making their own gods bow down to them. You know what I'm saying? Serving gods of this earth that they was creating, and all that was an abomination that they was doing. And they did it all the days of Enoch and his children. And that caused anger, the anger of the Most High to increase, you know. It was kindled on the account of these abominations. Alright? Verse 6. And the Lord caused the waters of the river Gihon to overwhelm them, and he destroyed and consumed them. And he destroyed the third part of the earth, And notwithstanding this, the sons of men did not turn from their evil ways, and their hands were extended to do evil in the sight of the Lord. See that? So the Most High, because they kindled his anger with these abominations, the Most High caused the rivers, the waters from the river Gihon, to come up and overwhelm them. See there? And he destroyed them and consumed them. He said a third part of the earth was consumed. And still the men didn't turn away from their evil doings. You know what I'm saying? They still continue to do evil in the sight of the Most High. Alright? Verse 7. In those days there were neither sowing nor reaping in the earth, and there was no food for the sons of men, and famine was very great in those days. Alright? So the Most High caused the famine to come upon the men in those days. It's very great famine. Alright? Verse 8. And the seed which they sowed in those days in the ground became thorns and thistles and briars. From the days of Adam was this declaration concerning the earth of the course of God, which he cursed the earth on account of the sin which Adam sinned before the Lord. Alright? So it's showing when Adam sinned, the Most High cursed him. Right? But I'm going to go back to chapter 1. Because I want to show you these thorns and thistles that they talking about. We read chapter 1. Alright? But we're going to go back to it. In chapter 1, verse 17. No. Chapter 1. Verse. Give me 1 second. Alright, chapter 1, verse 32. Alright, you say, and it should, hold on, we're going to go up to verse 31. Say, but thou didst this thing that thou slept thy brother for naught, and because he spoke rightly to thee. And now therefore cursed be thou from the ground, which opens his mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand, and wherein thou didst bury him. 32. And it shall be when thou shalt till it, it shall no more give thee its strength as in the beginning. He say, for thorns and thistles shall the ground produce, and thou shalt be moving and wandering in the earth until the day of thy death. Alright? So right there he's showing that the curse of the thorns and the thistles, you know what I'm saying, the ground will produce. You know what I'm saying? Because of the curses. You know what I'm saying? That men did in the earth. Alright? In those days. Alright, so we're gonna go back now. We're gonna go back. And we're gonna go to verse. We're gonna go to verse 8. Alright? Say, and the seed which they sowed in those days in the ground became thorns and thistles and briars. For from the days of Adam, this declaration concerning the earth of the course of God, which he cursed the earth on the account of sin which Adam sinned before the Lord. Alright? So we was talking about them thorns and thistles. Alright? Now we're going to go back to verse 9 now. Say, and it was when men continued to rebel against and transgress against God and to corrupt in their ways that the earth also became corrupt. Right? So he's showing that when men, they continue to rebel against God and transgress the law, and that's how the whole earth became corrupt. See there? Verse 10, and Enosh lived 90 years and he begat Canaan. Alright? And Canaan grew up and he was 40 years old, and he became wise and had knowledge and skill and all wisdom. And he reigned over all the sons of men, and he led the sons of men to wisdom and knowledge. For Canaan was very wise was a very wise man and had understanding and all wisdom. And with his wisdom, he ruled over spirits and demons. So he was a very wise man, Canaan was, right? And he was so wise, and he had such understanding in his wisdom that he could even rule over spirits and demons. All right. So we know the Most High was dealing with Canaan. All right. All right. But we're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna go into verse 12. He say, and Canaan knew by his wisdom that God would destroy the sons of men for having sinned upon the earth, and that the Lord would in the latter days bring upon them the waters, right? The waters of the flood. So Canaan, he knew that in the later days that the Most High was going to bring the flood and destroy man in the earth, right? So let's see what Canaan did. Let's see what happened. We have verse 13. Say, in those days Canaan wrote upon tablets of stone what was to take place in time to come, and he put them in his treasures. So Canaan wrote on stones what will happen in the future, right? Because the Most High, he let him know, he gave him this intellect, you know what I'm saying, and this insight, so that he would know what was going to take place in the future. And he wrote it on a stone, and then he put it in his treasures. Okay? Now let's go to 14. And Canaan reigned over the whole earth, and he turned some of the sons of men to the service of God. So Canaan, he ruled the whole earth. He was mighty and wisdom. So he ruled the whole earth, and he even turned some of the men back to the service of God. See there? Now we're going to go to 15. And when Canaan was 70 years old, he begat 3 sons and 2 daughters. All right? So when he was 70 years old, he begat 3 sons and 2 daughters. He had 5 kids, 3 sons and 2 daughters. All right? We are 16. And these are the names of the children of Canaan. The name of the firstborn was Mahalath, the second Enan, and the third Merib. And their daughters were Ada and Zillah. These are the 5 children of Canaan that were born to him. So these are the 5 children that was born to Canaan. All right, it was Mahalath, Enan, and Merib, and Ada and Zillah. All right, they were born to Canaan. All right, we are 17. Say, and Lamech, the son of Methuselah, became related to Canaan by marriage, and he took 2 of his daughters for his wives, Ada, and Ada conceived and bare a son to Lamech, and she called his name Jabal. All right, so it's showing right here that Lamech became related to Canaan through marriage because he took his 2 daughters, Ada and Zillah. He married them. But see, he had a daughter with Ada, all right? And he called the name of his daughter that he married. He called the name of his daughter, he called her Jabal. I'm sorry. He had a son, and he called his son named Jabal. I'm sorry. All right. I'm going to go into 18. And she conceived again, bare a son, and she called his name Jabal. And Zillah, her sister, were barren in those days and had no offspring. All right. So it's Jabal and Jubal. All right. It's two sons, Jabal and Jubal, by Ada and Lamech. All right. And that's the time I have right now. I'm gonna continue the next video, the next verse 18 on the next video. All right.